Let me just interject because you talked about kind of like the moment that you were experiencing. Around the same time, there was like the exact day, if I can say, it was like a day at church on a Sunday. Um, the Lord just like convicted my heart through events that happened with certain people at church, and I just came to repentance with the Lord, and at this point, I'm like serving at church. I'm like, I was in charge of some youth stuff, and I instantly get convicted, and Julie would say like she saw me from, I think outside. I think you mentioned just like my whole kind of like posture and demeanor had changed because I knew that I needed to come to a realization with the Lord and her that this is my moment of actually confessing to Julie what was really going on, right? And so we had planned that we're gonna have a little outing. We're gonna go to a museum with our kids, and that quickly changed from me getting some counsel with my pastor and saying, hey, like this is what's going on. Like I need some prayer. I need some advice. And he pushed me to do the right thing. And I'm so grateful for my brother for doing that. And we went straight home. What's really, really wild is that we went on our porch and we started talking, and Julie can feel more on that. But like our kids, like the Lord was in the whole process because our kids fell asleep for 4 hours. Like, like this is just like
they napped. They actually napped.
They
had a long time, and we had space.
And they had space to talk. It was like,
and that's what we had.
Yeah,
really,
right.
So what I'm hearing is you were at church, and you get to that place where you're like, I can't do this anymore. You repented. And you repented, meaning you changed your mind, right, about staying in fear. Because really that's what repentance is, right? You got to come up with a new mind. But you mentioned because you were working with the children. What did you mean by that?
I mean, I was serving in youth, right? So this is me.
I think the unique thing is we were not together today. We were not sitting by each other at church. We did not enter together. He came and he was working with youth outside. I was sitting alone in the back, just so angry because that was my MO for 4 years, just mad all the time. And there was a triggering event that day, and it impacted me with saying, I need to let this go. I cannot leave this place today with holding on to this, with believing these things about my husband, with suspicious all the time. I need to let it go. And at the same time, in a different location, because I noticed him later, he was just completely slumped over, and he was experiencing the conviction of, I need to tell her everything today. So it was just really cool that we both experienced, I think, an invitation to something different.
When you talk about the supernatural intervention, like, see, I was a divine appointment, and it was just like, it was amazing. Like, it really was a lot of breakthrough and freedom on my end. And we can talk about that if that's where we're heading with this. But
right. Well, what I'm seeing or hearing rather is you got to the place where if you were not authentic, it wasn't going to work anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was just like, it was down to like everything, right? Like,
well, your first phone call was to a good friend that you trust, our pastor. And he said, if you want to save your marriage, you tell her everything today.
Okay. So here you are at home now. The kids are sleeping for 4 hours. Tell us about that.
He just said, I have to talk to you. And I said, I know. I think I knew, like I was waiting for this moment. And we went to the porch, and we had been still working on our marriage and connecting through a tool that we learned called the core emotion wheel. We learned about it.
So hold that up for 1 second. What's on that wheel? Let me see. Anger, shame, guilt, fear, lonely, sad, hurt, joy. Okay.
So we had tried therapy and it made things worse, but this wheel was something we could do in 4 minutes in a day, where we say what is happening inside of us and try to get out of me telling them what to do or being reactive to things, but just to say what is happening inside of us. And then the other person just being able to receive and ooh and okay, I hear you, and just get stuff out.
Well, what a difference from traditional therapy is what I'm hearing, because in therapy, you spend a long time talking, right? Back and forth. And I'm not poo-pooing therapy, but this connection code, which is what it's called, gives you each 2 minutes to talk to one another and express how you're feeling. So you used that tool in this space that was created on that Sunday.
Yes. Otherwise, that conversation would be so scary. Where do you start? So I think we went outside, and you probably used one of some of these.
Yeah, if I can actually just model like in real time, as if this was actually the conversation that I had with Julie and some to my knowledge or like my recollection of how it went down. But we, at this point, we're working on emotions, especially for me. Like my only emotions really, where I'm angry all the time or maybe happy and sad, right? Like I didn't have a grid for some of these emotions. So I'm going to just go in and just like, if this is happening right now, and the ministry would say, you look at your partner in the eyes, and there's no fear in her trying to fix it. Just like she's just going to ooh and ah me. But okay, great. I would say, hey, I actually have a lot of fear right now, confessing what I'm going to tell you. And so I'm just consumed with a lot of fear. But I have a lot of sadness because what I'm going to share with you, it's going to be upsetting. And I'm sad that I had not mentioned this to you before. So please forgive me. And I am experiencing a lot of hurt right now because as a godly man, as someone that needed to guard your heart and myself as well, I caused a lot of hurt and a lot of distrust in our relationship and experienced a lot of anger because I'm angry at myself where like I should be better